My friend, it's good to be with you again. I'm Russell Klum, real estate broker here in Portland, Oregon. This is Bo Baker, a lender in Portland, Oregon. We're here for real estate after hours. Bo,
Yes, we are.
tell me what we're doing here. What is the concept?
We're peeling the curtain wide open. I don't know that phrase. I think I said it wrong. But we have these conversations all the time about real estate transactions, about the market, about the nuances, the unique things that we see, and the uninformed buyers and sellers that we interact with.
Totally.
And it's a part of our normal everyday conversation. We're like, well, what if we brought that to the masses? Which is for sure it's going to happen here.
Well, and I think, we talk a lot about what we wish our clients knew or what we wish we could tell them candidly, or what's like kind of what bullshit is there in the industry that's not serving our clients well that we can help improve on. And I think the candid responses and the candid thoughts, it's so hard to know where to put those, what to do with those. And they do genuinely benefit people.
100%.
So I think this conversation is the fruit of that.
Yeah. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is offer deadlines. So, I'm scrolling over Zillow and Redfin, all these, and I monitor my neighborhood, my zip code. New house came out on Thursday, just listed, and it already had a offer deadline on Monday at 5:00.
Yeah.
Like what's your thoughts on this?
It just boggles the mind, to be honest with you. I think it's anticipating something. Yeah. If you understand a local place, a neighborhood, maybe it's going to have, homes that go quickly. Maybe historically they have gone quickly.
Yeah.
But the problem is every sale is unique. Its condition, its time, its price. Those are all unique to each home. So I don't know, to me, it kind of feels like you're out over your skis a little far when you're putting an offer deadline out there when you list that property.
Okay, I don't ski.
When you
explain this to me.
When you were a kid, you're running downhill and you're like yellow too fast for your legs and you're leaning forward. Yeah. And if you don't keep running, you're going to face plant.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to keep it. I didn't grow up rich white person, so
whatever. My point is, it feels like they're ahead of themselves in a way that's not serving their client, but they think it is because what you're doing is you're creating some artificial sense of urgency to the whole situation. Yeah. So every buyer like you who looked at it and considering like, wait a second, offer deadline.
Yeah.
Does that mean
scarcity,
I need to get involved here?
Yeah. Yeah. So you talked about, one of our conversations a couple weeks ago, you talked about the psychology of deadlines. Can you explain a little bit more about what you mean by that?
Yeah.
Because I know you don't have a psychology degree. So, you're throwing that word out flippantly. What do you
Sure. Well, a lot of things when it comes to selling and buying anything, there's a psychological element to it. I think when it comes to big purchases like a home, we are overthinking a lot. And we're also moving towards something really important in life, like our shelter, like the place we may have a family, like a location that is going to give us the job we want, lots of different opportunities.
Imagine future.
Future, exactly. The future that you're going to live is going to be in this place. And so emotions are a big part of that. Yeah. So I think when you're setting a deadline, it can serve everybody or it can hurt a lot of people. And here's what I mean by that. The artificial one that we just talked about, it's trying to create scarcity. It's trying to create urgency. It's trying to help people or propel people to do something they may not have otherwise done because they think it's going to get away from them. They have FOMO.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss out
on the house. It looks great.
Totally. Or I saw it online and I got to get there right now. Yeah. I've had people write offers. They've never seen the house. Like
it's bonkers.
Bonkers to me too. But it can get that kind of fever frenzy, right?
Yeah.
But I think in a situation where you put a listing on, let's say I'm representing a seller and we get really good activity, put it on Wednesday or Thursday, and we're starting to get private tours right away. And we've got upcoming open houses where I had one last year where I put it on in a neighborhood. We had an open house on Friday night. I had almost 30 people through. Saturday, we had another 30 groups through. Sunday, 20 groups through. It was very clear there's a lot of people interested, right?
Yeah.
We had private tours back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
It was appropriate at that point to start considering an offer deadline. But for me, the psychology of it doesn't really come into play until we have an offer in hand.
Yeah.
At that point, it's this tool for both the seller and all the buyers out there to say, we are going to create an end to this. Yeah. It's not going to be on the market forever. So for me, what I like to do is create psychology where we know it's coming, but we're going to give everyone some time. A fair shot. And on behalf of my seller, I want the best offer possible.
Yeah, you want the highest best.
So I want a lot of exposure. I want those people who are potentially making an offer to be in conversation with me, the selling agent, to help them understand what my client needs and wants. So I'm going to set that deadline for Monday. And the psychology of that is people have time, but they don't have infinite time.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to overpressure it, overcook it, but I do want some pressure to get them to motivated to get there and move.
Yeah.
So I think in that situation, it's serving all parties. The problem in my mind is when either no one's written an offer yet, and you set a deadline.
Yeah.
And then people can be like scared away. Like the psychology of that is like, well, it's so competitive. I can't tell you the number of times my buyers tell me I don't want to get in a competitive offer situation.
I've had so many buyers just stop trying
Stop the
because
process.
they're like, it's just too much.
It's too competitive, 100%. So you can, again, overcook it pretty quick. But I do think in the right situation, the tool is helpful for everybody and gets everyone a fair shot at it. And I go so far as in my situation, if I'm representing a seller and we have multiple offers, I set deadline for Monday. Everyone who's made an offer, we give opportunity to all those buyers to revise that offer. If they want to improve it, they can.
Yeah.
And on behalf of my seller, I give a wish list. If my seller could get this in terms or in price, and give everyone the same shake. Everyone who's written an offer gets another shot with another deadline.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that? You don't have to. No one has to.
Yeah.
But at least you understand we've got 4 offers in.
Yeah. To win, this is what you need to do.
Yes. And no one else might do it either, but at least everyone got the same information and can make an informed decision about what they want to do.
When you have your buyers and they see that deadline, but they are motivated, are you noticing or seeing that being like getting them off the fence, or is it like, or are you having more people recluse away? Like, I don't want to be competitive, or is it like, this is mine and I want
You know what? That's a great question. And it is so market dependent and person dependent. Some people are wired to be competitive and like those people are like, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah.
Like I'm in, I'm going to win. I think a lot of people right now, especially with the cost of money being high, meaning it's expensive to borrow money.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah. As a lender, you know, we don't have enough properties on market for all the buyers out here. So we have limited supply. Prices are high because of that. So I think that's giving a lot of buyers pause, and they're being judicious about what they want to do. So in this particular moment, it's not often that we're getting highly motivated people to jump in. Although it's happening every weekend. I have colleagues who say, I have a listing that we had 7 offers.
Yeah.
So in some like micro markets in the area, that's happening. When it happens, I think what I'm watching with my buyers is they have to absolutely be in love with this property and not be so tired of the process that they're just so
check out.
So I think there's kind of this sweet spot where like we're motivated, we've got the means to do it, and this is what we really want to accomplish.
Have you seen, is there a specific example you've seen of someone going, I don't trust that deadline, and so therefore I'm going to wait and I'm going to.
This is the other side of that coin, right? Like the deadlines are in a hot market, a tool to try to get things done in a timely fashion, organized kind of way, right? Motivates people, all good.
Yep.
The other side of that same coin is people create artificial deadlines in their mind, and it goes something like, we sit on the fence and we watch the same property for a long time, and when the price becomes X, Y, and Z, or when enough days go by, then I'll jump because I think I can make an offer under list, or I think that I'm going to wait for that seller to lower the price. That's my price point. And I think the inverse of that psychology is what's happening in the inverse of the psychology of a deadline that's created by a seller is happening inside that buyer, where they're creating inside themselves some turmoil with no urgency, with the opposite of urgency. If they got the brakes on fully, they want the house, they can see their life there, they can see their future there, something's not working, price isn't working for them. And instead of having an honest conversation with their agent who's representing them about what would it take for me to get in that house and let's try writing that offer, they've created a roadblock. And I think like those are like the opposite ends of spectrums that I watch on repeat with my buyer clients. And a lot of it is like, we don't want people to run away on pricing because if I love the house, they get in a dangerous position. And one of my jobs is to mitigate risk for people. And that can be very risky to buy a house for way too much. The other end of it is on this end of the spectrum to never make a move and wait for the market to change, wait for that price to change, and just miss out on everything. Just about where you just never make the decision you need to make to get where you want to go.
Sort of wrapping up now, what are some sort of red flags when you come to buyers and sellers in approaching and like coming into all this aspect of like you want to set a deadline or you see a deadline? Like what are the red flags that you see?
I mean, for me, it really comes down to what we've been talking about. The deadline used in the right way is to everyone's benefit. If you're using a deadline to create artificial urgency, that's a red flag. And I start looking at, I do this for all my buyers. When we're writing an offer, I'm doing a comparable analysis of everything going on around that house.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, a house is overpriced because they saw a previous home nearby sell
My
overvalued.
neighbors went for this. Yeah.
My neighbors went for this.
Mhm.
Therefore, I'm going to increase it by 5% and put it on market.
Yeah.
It just, you have to go in informed. So the urgency can get in the way, and cloud judgment and get in the way of making a really good, solid financial decision, and get you where you want to go. So I think the biggest thing is like, we're all emotional people. We're going to use that as a factor in our decision making. We can't let our emotions drive or our competition drive the boat when it comes to making an offer on property.
That's sound advice, my friend.
I appreciate
I
it.
appreciate you taking the time. Till next time.
That's right.
Cheers,
Thank you.
man. What the fuck?